Hi friends, welcome back to Nearly Sane Games. I'm Neil, and this is the Armory Report. Now last night we took our girl Levia to a Commoner Blitz armory, and we went 4 rounds, and let's take a look at how things went. Now, first round we were against a Rhinar, so it was a brute battle, and we were punching it up, and telling you, Levia was working great. We had a lot of 4-card hands that we were able to get some big damage through. We had a Red Zealous Belting turn, followed by a Lunartide Plunderer coming in for 12 damage. We had Lunartide Plunderer with Pummel. A lot of big damage coming through. We were able to take that match. I think that our opponent was a little unprepared for how much damage that we could push through. Now, round 2 was against a Prism player. Now this was interesting. So Prism, of course, coming in with a lot of heralds, and we have a lot of things that have 6 or more power to pop those heralds, pop that phantasm. And I think I probably used too much pitch with those 7 power cards. We lost this match. We were 2-2 at the end of the match, and I didn't have enough block available to me. One of the difficulties with this Levia deck is that we have some cards that just don't block. Now, we made a little modification over the Levia deck that we had in the previous video. I took out the 2 yellow Smash with Big Tree and put in 2 yellow Pummel. I figured this would give us more consistency on a 4-card hand and give us a little bit more block available to us. I think what happened with Prism, it was going well early on. I did take a big hit in trying to have the big comeback, and maybe I shouldn't have done that quite as much. And I was trying to be very aggressive with the deck, but I probably should have been trying to keep more of the hands that had the 6 power attacks, so I could make sure that I could pop the Phantasm every turn, and on the turns that that I had the big attacks, but nothing else to play, I probably should have just swung the club to keep some pressure up. But what happened was I have hands that were awkward. Here's a bunch of Zealous Beltings and Pummels. Didn't have the block. Came through with a Herald. Pop Snapdragons, come through with another Herald. Some of these big attacks, and I wasn't able to block those. So I think we could probably do better in the future if we play a little bit smarter. Make sure that we're attacking with our non-block cards, and if we don't have that available, if we have to pitch a 7 power attack instead, maybe Arsenal that non-block card and just swing with the club. But overall, not a bad match. Still 2-2 at the end when we died, but probably could have played just a little bit better. Round 3 was Benji. Now in this commoner matchup, rare heroes were allowed. Shyana was being played with Teshar, and that was allowed. This is just a fun event, and I think that all of those are fine. Benji was interesting. He was having Benji come in with these little attacks that you can't block is an interesting strategy. You can't block from hand. So we had all of our 1-block equipment, which was very good. But I'm just coming in, the deck is doing exactly what it wants to do. So when he goes for those bigger attacks, there's not quite enough 2 power or less attacks that become unblockable. He also had some bigger attacks. So when he had the bigger attacks, we had our defensive reactions to play, and we had our 2 cards that we wanted to block with. And when we come back and we're swinging in for 7 or 8 with our 2-card hands, That's a lot of pressure to put on, especially in blitz. And he couldn't keep up with it. We eventually, our final attack was a seven power attack that we added on a red pummel. Way too much for him to block, and he was already at 1, and we won that match. Round 4 was also a Benji attack, and took a lot of damage. I took 8 damage turn 1 because I had a pretty decent follow-up attack that I wanted to keep. I think I actually blocked some of it. I blocked 2 of it, I think, and drew a new card for that. But that allowed me to do a Zealous Belting 8 power attack as a follow-up. Remember, Benji starts out with 17 life, which I kept forgetting. But, you know, quickly punched him down to 8 health, and then eventually got him down to 1 health. And then we got to the final turn, which let's go over that a little bit. And I was pretty happy with how this turn turned out. And let's take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at this final turn. So this is my hand. I've got Deadwood Rumbler riled up, Smash with Big Tree, and Waking Bellow. So this is going to be, we're going to start out with a 7 attack no matter what. But I figure, let's go for it. Like, we've got a chance to make things happen. So first thing I do is I pop my bark bone strapping. It's already been defended with. I do a roll, I get a 3. So bark bone strapping pops. We've got 1 resource floating. That's what I needed. We're going to see if we can make it happen. So we're going to start by casting this Deadwood Rumbler, pitching a Waking Bellow, still holding 1 resource. Deadwood Rumbler makes us draw a card and discard a random card. And I set them out and I roll for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get a 2. 2 says Smash Instinct. Smash Instinct goes to the graveyard. Smash Instinct is a 6. I exile it. Since I exiled a power, or since I banished a card with 6 or more power, I can pop Hooves of the Shadow Beast, gaining 1 more action point. 1 more action point leads me to pitch a Riled Up for 2 and roll in a Smash with Big Tree. So total attack 14 for this turn. Come in for the wind. He's able to block out the 7, but he only has 2 block left for the other 7. That's game. So that was our Commoner Blitz Armory event. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's very interesting to see how different people are putting together these decks without rares. It really changes the power level and kind of the dynamic, especially in Blitz. It's a faster format, but there's a lot of cool things happening, and I think it's a lot of fun to play with these heroes in kind of a lot more smashy kind of setting. So that's it for today. We'll have another Armory report next week, where I think we are doing Tales of Aria Sealed. So that should also be interesting.